something else I would like to talk about is something I've not really talked about on this channel. Uh, it's not really something I've talked about much on the internet, aside from in those groups. And I wanted to just kind of reminisce a little bit. Uh, I've been on the internet for a long time, probably over half my life. I'm 21, so I'm very young. I know people have been on it longer than I have, but since I was 6 or 7, I've been on the internet. I was practically raised on it. Now you can raise your concerns about that later, but I found a lot of stuff on the internet. A lot of things that have shaped my interest over the years, like Lego stop motions. I loved those when I was younger. But I found something in particular that I really loved and still love and still participate in to an extent. Gotta love the South, man. Loud trucks. Loud trucks all the time. I apologize. When I was younger, like really young, like 3 to around 8 years old, in that time frame, there was a television show that I loved quite a bit. You've probably heard of it. It's called Thomas the Tank Engine. Now, I don't really watch the show anymore. I still like steam locomotives because I think they are marvels of engineering and just look cool. Uh, but when I was younger, I absolutely loved the show. I had all the toys. Like I was a spoiled brat. I had all the toys. I had a bunch of VHS tapes, DVDs, all of it. And I remember stumbling upon a video called Mad Bomber. Mad Bomber was made by an Australian man named Leo, who went by Leo Kim Video on YouTube. The video's still up. You can go watch it. And he made a parody film in which bombings kept happening on Sodor. And eventually, Thomas ends up clearing a bomb from his home sheds, sacrificing himself and blowing up a diesel named Dandy. And I thought that was the coolest thing when I was younger. And for a while, Leo was talked about making a sequel episode back in 2008, and I was one of the little kiddos that fell in love with the video and the video techniques that he talked about frequently in behind-the-scenes videos with his pyrotechnics, cinematography, the way he made sets. It was all really interesting. Now, unfortunately, Mad Bomber 2 never came out. There is little bits of footage of it in trailers and teasers and the sort. I remember actually, back when YouTube had a private messaging system, I actually messaged him once and asked for a hint. And he said it's an evil twin. That's my only clue. Now, obviously, it's an evil twin of Thomas. We never actually get to see it. But that's who the Mad Bomber is. And I wanted to just reminisce a little bit about that. And just the younger days of the internet. Well, my younger days being on the internet. The internet was around for quite a while when I was a kiddo. But, it led me over the years into watching various fan series. Not even about Thomas, just various other little fan series, like Stupid Mario Brothers by Rich Alvarez. And if you don't know what that is, it is a fan series about Mario and Luigi, clean-shaven, living in our world, on vacation from the Mushroom Kingdom. And it starts off as just Rich Alvarez, or Richard Michael, and his friend, I'm trying to remember his name, I can't remember it right now, but his friend just dicking around as Mario and Luigi, just screwing around, really. That was the first season where they just did random stuff. They did have a fight with Wario, who was played by Matthew Provincial. I remember that name. And Waluigi, portrayed by Doug Orofino. Uh, and after that, I got a lot more serious. There was 5 seasons, a movie, and 2 sequel series of this stuff. It went on for a while. I've the movie is good. All 5 seasons are really good. They get better each season. You can tell Richard and his friends put in a lot of effort as time went on. It got kind of annoying that he kept bringing one villain back, especially in the sequel series, The Plumber Knight Returns, which I've only seen 1 season of. There's 2. The special effects in Plumber Knight Season 1 were really good, and the plot was decent. It was basically combining Mario and the Dark Knight, Batman. I never saw Season 2 or Stupid Mario World, which was set between Stupid Mario Brothers and The Plumber Knight Returns, because at that time it was kind of clear that Rich was milking it a bit. It was kind of sad to watch this really good creator and his subs decline year over year, his subs and views. Mostly his views. He still retained quite a bit of the subs that came from Stupid Mario Brothers. And he wasn't the only little series on YouTube I watched. There was also, going back to Thomas, there were numerous Thomas fan series that I watched and still watch to this day. Wild Nor'Wester, which is a reference to the books that Thomas the Tank Engine was based off of, called the Railway series, where the Express, as it's called in the show that Gordon pulls, is referred to in the books as the Wild Nor'Wester. The train had a name. And he made a series called Sodor the Early Years, which transitioned into Sodor the Modern Years. And I really enjoyed watching that too. And I know I'm just kind of sitting here in my Minecraft base. At this point, I've gotten more invested into talking about this than actually playing the game. And heck, it might just stay that way for a little bit. I don't even know what I'm... Oh, right. I think I was waiting on this stuff to stop smelting. But I enjoyed Wild Nor'Wester series. They're very much like the book series. I don't think he adapts any of the stories, but they're very much like the original books. They're good for... I say they're good for kids as if it's like a vegetable that I'm talking about. Oh, it's good for kids. Make their bones good and strong. It's safe for kids to watch, because some Thomas parodies and fan series are not. I recently watched a parody film of Thomas and the Magic Railroad, a very American version of Thomas that came out, I think, back in 2002 with Alec Baldwin and Mara Wilson and Peter Fonda. And it was a parody film that was twice the length of the original, and they turned it into a stoner comedy. Now, I like me a good stoner comedy from time to time. Like, if you've ever seen Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke, that movie doesn't make a lick of sense, but it's hilarious. It's got a lot of quotable moments, too. But again, for the sake of being as PG as I can be, which I kind of messed that up earlier, but oh well. It's a good It's a good fan film. I think it's as good as a fan film can be. Obviously, I can't expect 10 out of 10 visuals and writing and acting. The pacing really could have been picked up at some points. There's no reason why it needs to be damn near 4 hours long. Oh, I just did it again. I'm sorry. There's no reason why it needs to be 4 hours long, and that's just the truth. Like, just a little bit more, and it would be like watching Titanic. It's just... It's insane. They tried to fit in a lot of backstory about characters from the original film, and that's fine, but I feel like you really could cut it down. They try adding in just so much backstory that's just... It's either too much exposition or bad pacing. And again, it's a fan film. You can't expect perfection. But it would be nice, I think, if they were able to create a smaller cut of the film. Try trimming out a little more fat. Which, there is a director's cut, which is longer. I think the gentleman who made it, I think his name is Vinny, said it was 10 minutes longer. Now, don't quote me on that. I don't remember. But I guess where I'm going with this is that he made a pretty good film. He and the entire production crew. It was pretty decent. And him, Wild Nor'Wester, other people on YouTube, like Enterprising Engines, makes a really, really good Thomas fan series that is, for the most part, safe for kids to watch. It's just like watching the original show. There are stories that are good for people young and old. There is one episode where James goes on a drug-induced trip. Yeah, the Thomas community really just loves making drug-related stuff. I don't know. Maybe that says something. If it does, I'm not quite sure what. But it's also really good. My favorite parts of it are the more... I like the more mystery elements of it, because injecting mystery elements into Thomas, I think, actually works very well due to just the mysterious nature of how those engines work. It's trains with faces. How does that work? Never explained. Now, there are numerous fan attempts to explain it, like Shed 17, which I do not like. And when I say I don't like it, I mean it's a really good horror video, but I don't like the horror. The horror scared me. It has a lot of body horror, and most horror does not scare me. Body horror does. Like I mentioned Five Nights at Freddy's earlier, the character Michael Afton, who had a metal skeleton shoved inside him and got paraded around by it like a puppet. That's horrifying. That's disgusting and scary, and I'm not a fan of it. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you all really should check it out. I'm just kind of talking at this point, just kind of shooting the brief with you all. The internet really has opened me up to a lot of cool stuff, and that's just some of it. Those fan series, the Lego stop motions. I even watched a show called Joe Brickman, which was about Joe Brickman getting into various scrapes with a little cast of characters. It was stop motion animated Lego. I don't really remember much about it. I remember that they made a lot of toilet jokes because I think Joe was a plumber. But I can't... It's been so long that I can't really remember right. I remember watching all of these Super Mario videos that I think were originally posted on Newgrounds. I've never been to Newgrounds, so if anyone here happens to watch this who used to be on Newgrounds, don't fry me, okay? I'm a Zoomer. I'm a babby. I haven't. It was before my time a little bit, but they were all re-uploaded. And keep in mind, I was maybe 9, 8, 10 years old whenever I watched this, and these things were violent. And Mario did some pretty shocking things. And you know, I'm just me, as a little impressionable kid going, Mario just killed somebody. Mario just said MF'er, you know, it was a good time. It was a good time to be on the internet. And I think one of my favorite videos, and I actually went back recently and watched it again, was a Lego stop motion, kind of, that was made by a YouTube user, Pete Hutter Monkeys. And it was called A Trip to McDonald's. And it is overly vulgar, incredibly vulgar. Like, I think he said a curse word every other word in a sentence. It ended with the character, and I'm not quite sure what the character's name even is, but he burns down a McDonald's, which is just a picture of a McDonald's being burned. um, and he also kills the manager of the McDonald's, and it was just not something someone my age should be watching. It's not something I would let my kid watch, but yeah, having unrestricted access to a computer and no supervision allows a child to see some pretty funny stuff that they probably shouldn't see. That, and you know, when I was at my father's, I would just watch all kinds of shit that a kid shouldn't be watching because, well, various content and stuff happening. And I think that about wraps it up. I got really nothing else to say. If there's anything you want to drop a line about in the comments, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's or the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection and various little internet series that you watched growing up, let me know about it. Maybe I've seen it too and I just forgot to mention it here. I don't really know what I'm going to call this. I guess this is kind of a Professor Muses. I guess. Cars are nice, aren't they? Another one going by. But just when I'm trying to say goodbye. Let me know what you all think about this. I don't know if I'll do this again. It was kind of nice just sitting and talking about something that had an effect on me as a kid. Something that I still enjoy. I do have some playlists made up of a lot of fan content if you want to check them out. It's good stuff. And without further ado, I'm Professor Kagan, Professor Inigo only, and y'all take it easy.